Ladies and gentlemen, this is officially Carney's Canada. Good afternoon, everybody. Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler, from my home office doing something of a pre-recorded in-studio car vlog, because if you don't know what's going on in Canada, you're going to know what's going on in Canada. It's an election cycle, and it is, by all accounts, Mark Carney of the Liberal Party versus Pierre Poilievre of the, dare I say, so-called Conservative Party. I'm not going to spend too much time ragging on Pierre, except to remark on his silence as at the time of shooting this vlog, but I'm going to rail against the Liberals and Mark Carney, or as I like to call him, Carnage Carney, Commie Carney, whatever you want to call him. This is Mark Carney's Canada, where the police in Montreal, and I will accept some jurisdictional distinctions here, that's not the RCMP, it's the Sûreté de Québec in Quebec, violently assaulting a journalist, a female journalist, if that matters for you people who play identity politics, an independent female journalist, violently assaulting, arresting, and hospitalizing a female journalist. On the scene, recording it, and thank goodness that she was there, was Alexa Lavoie of Rebel News, who was involved in the melee. You're not going to believe what's going on with this. Well, I'll probably play a bit of the clip right now so that you can see, just get a gist for what's going on, and then we're going to bring in Alexa Lavoie, who you know, or if you don't know her, you're going to know her now, to explain what the heck happened. And now bringing in Alexa, at the risk of asking the obvious, how goes the battle?
But first of all, it was the SPVM that was involved. It's different than the SQ, that is Sûreté du Québec.
Explain what the DSPVM is. That's Ville de Montréal.
It's the Service of Police of Montreal. So since almost more than a year and a half, they are not acting on what we are seeing every weekend and sometimes multiple times during the week. There is anti-Israel march taking place, sometimes with violence, vandalism, harassment, assault, everything that you can see in those protests, with like hate speech, obviously. But since the beginning, nobody is doing anything. There is no consequences for those people. And so me and Natasha, why we went there on Sunday, it's because they used to pray at the end of their protest. And this time they choose the Basilica Notre Dame, that is one of the most known church in Montreal for the whole history. And it's not the first time they are targeting that church, especially during a Sunday. And so we went over there about 2 hours and a half after the started of the protest, and they were in the whole Montreal, and we were just peacefully walking next to the protest on the sidewalk and just filming their speech, their chant. It's public interest what is happening right now. And so no other media were there, only us documenting what was happening. At one moment, when they were walking towards the church, they recognized us, and they started saying, Zionists are here, fascists are here, and started chanting and targeting us with their chant, pointing us. And so some individual felt emboldened to come to surround us, to assault us, and to intimidate us. That's what happened. And we always kept a distance with the protest. And one of the person that was leading during that protest is Iyad Abu Ahmed, is really known. We saw him, I think he's involved with one of the mosques here in Montreal. And I remember in one of his speech during one of the protests that I recorded myself, he said that October 7, 2023 was a victory. And so I wanted to ask him First of all, why did he say that? Why he continued to chant anti-Semitic slogan? Also, he did post on his Instagram before, and I did document everything. The paraglider picture after the October 7th, 2023. And so my goal was just questioning him and to say 2 or 3 questions, and that's it. But I didn't expect that he would start yelling at me as aggressive as that and call me a genocidal, a baby killer, and everything that you can expect, like as insult. It was difficult. Anyway, at that moment, the police came to me, grabbed my arm, pushed me behind, and that police officer like was say to me, "I know for you work for Rebel News, and isn't it?" And continue to push me, and I keep saying to him, "You can't touch me. Stop touching me." And they pulled us on the side. Natasha went like on the side as they asked. And that same police officer that was really physical with me suddenly started engaging with Natasha. And he's the same guy that started to arrest Natasha for assault because they were trying to engage with each other. And Natasha was just simply asking, like, can you control the mob? Can you just do something? And she was mainly calm in the situation where we got assaulted multiple times. And they were saying to me, I would paraphrase because I don't know exactly what they say, but that we were the reason and that we were creating an event, and we were provoking the crowd, and our presence was provoking them. And so I was like, this is unnormal. I'm a journalist. I'm here to do my job as documenting, and it's a public interest protest. Is happening since a year and a half. Other media are not there for doing the job that he should do. And at that moment, I turned around and I saw Natasha being grabbed and violently thrown into the stair. That is really dangerous when you throw someone into the stair, because the neck or the face, or you don't know where she's gonna be hurt. So I saw them twisting her arm, and I was like, oh my God, you're crazy. What are you doing as a woman? I stopped that.
Let me stop you there just for 1 second, actually, because the woman part is relevant. It's you, Natasha, who's an independent journalist. It's Natasha Montreal on Twitter. Who else is with you? You got your cameraman?
No, just me and Natasha.
And you're holding your own camera?
Yeah, and I have my 360. It's why I have now all the footage of what really happened.
And okay, and so no bodyguards or nothing. It's just 2 female journalists.
Yes.
Attending and documenting this protest. And for those who don't know, this is at Basilica Notre Dame in Montreal, Old Montreal, where there's the square in between the Aldred building and in Old Montreal, right in front of the church.
That happened in the street towards the Basilica, because they were marching back to for doing their prayer. That I was able to film the prayer. Same if they came towards me again for intimidate me. And the police that time, they saw that I didn't provoke because I was really far away. And they say, oh, this time you're right. You're not provoking. They are coming to you. I say, no. I was right both times. It's just you don't want to see the reality that we didn't provoke.
And when they are putting their hands on you to remove you, I mean, some people are going to say they're doing it for your own protection. The bottom line, they are removing you, but while they're also telling you, I know you, you're from Rebel News, you're a journalist at Rebel News.
Yes. And I didn't actually introduce myself. I didn't say my name yet. He just say, I know who you are. You work for Rebel News. And it's what Natasha said to me. They were telling the same thing to her. This were telling to Natasha, you work for Rebel. And she was like, no, I'm not working for Rebel. Natasha never worked with us. Natasha worked as an independent journalist. She worked with freelance for different media. And that yesterday, she was mainly working with U.S. independent media. So she never take a dime of us. It's just like I met her.
No, but it's as if that would change anything. And for what it's worth, everybody should know you are the same Rebel News journalist who was shot in the leg point blank with the tear gas cartridge by the RCMP at the Ottawa protest.
I'm
So they
also the same journalist who got attacked by Antifa slash Islamo-gauchists who actually attacked me at Square Victoria, painted all the way down, and the police looked and did nothing.
I remember that. That was when the guy had a spray paint canister thing that was spraying like a hose of paint, blue paint on you.
La police a fait rien! Look at these police! Look at their dog! These dogs saw me being like paint. They saw me trying to grab the painting, and you know what they say? They say, "Let it go. Let it go.
Just move out. I'm helping you. I'm telling
Why
you
you
to
don't?
leave.
You telling me to leave after I get aggressed,
Yes.
and you don't do anything. You don't give like any tickets.
Well, there's
You're
too
not
many people.
giving
We're two.
like look.
You understand? We're only
No.
The video starts with Natasha being spun around, flung around, and there's a moment where she's looking at the camera with like a look of bewilderment and terror in her eyes. Then they throw her down on the stairs. They're twisting her arms back, two cops pulling her in separate directions. And while we're going to see that, you know, the question that some people have by way of context, I put it in quotes, what happened before that led up to that? Now, I happen to know, as at the time of shooting this interview, tell the world what had happened leading up to that, in case anybody wants the additional context. Because in the video, the cops say voie de fait, which is French for assault. How did Natasha allegedly assault a police officer?
As I mentioned, the police officer were already physical and violent, kind of aggressive towards me, and so he did kind of the same. So he was always walking towards Natasha and more and more and more. So Natasha was like kind of like backing off, and she was like, "Stop touching me," because she kind of mentioned that with his belt, it was like kind of like pushing her a little bit on the back, and at one point, you will be able to see on the video, he put his hand on Natasha, and Natasha just removed his hand and said, "Do not touch me," something like that. And at that moment, he grabbed his hand and he said, "Assault," because she dared to touch his hand, to remove the hand from her. Because you don't touch, and it was like you will see on the video. It's a place that usually you do not touch.
Not unless it's your wife. It's a woman's hip. So he's this cop who's not arresting or detaining either of you, putting their hands on you, but putting his hands on Natasha's hip, and then she says, "You don't touch me," pushes his hand off, and then they went ballistic on her. And we've seen the video. The world has seen the video, and I will continue to needle Pierre Poilievre for being silent on this. It's early. Maybe he hasn't seen it yet. I have sent it out to people on the Conservative Party, their team. And so if they remain silent for any longer period of time, and then it'll become culpable silence. What happened to Natasha that you know of as at the time of recording this?
And by the way, I don't know if you saw in Ottawa, some of the protesters, they spat on the police. Did they get arrested? I would be curious to know, like, if they have criminal charges on them for doing that. But at the time, I know that Natasha went to the hospital last night after all the adrenaline went down. She started to have like pain everywhere, and she waited all night long, and she's still at the hospital doing all sorts of tests to know like what physically damaged she got from this violent arrest. And I know that you can hear, because she had like a camera on her neck, you can hear her saying, "You hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt my arm, you hurt my ribs." And it's not like if she didn't say that to them, that she was hurt when they were doing that violent arrest. And when she was on the ground waiting, they were like shoveling her like really violently, putting her like to sit down. And I was like, come on, like, she's not an animal. Like, stop that.
It was three men on one woman. They were pulling her in opposite directions, twisting her arms in opposite directions. It's egregious. And anybody who wants to try to rationalize this is an idiot in their own right. Sorry to cut you off. And yeah, so her shoulders hurt. No head injury that anybody knows of as of yet.
I don't know yet, so I'm still waiting from her. She's exhausted. She's really she's the perfect citizen. She doesn't have any record anything. She's the perfect like citizen, and now she's really panicking. Like, well, it's normal.
She's facing. Have they pressed criminal charges, or have they specified that they were going to charge her criminally?
I saw the paper that she received. She needs to appear in court. She has what I saw on the paper. I saw voie de fait and obstruction.
This is like they literally beat you into a hospital and then charge you for crimes. This is insanity. And anybody who's saying, Viva, this is Quebec, this isn't the rest of Canada. You look at what's going on in Ottawa and the mass protests they're having in Ottawa, where it's more of the same. You got aerial footage showing, you may want to call them, pro-Palestinian supporters, call it whatever you want. It is a mob of protesters who have been allowed to wreak havoc on the streets. And this is what we're seeing in Quebec from the police in Quebec, is what we're seeing in Ottawa. And the absence of a response from the police in Ottawa, they're enabling and empowering this mob while arresting and assaulting female journalists if, identity politics matters.
And how can you assault someone when you have like a phone in one hand trying to film and you have one hand and you are a female? There is no point there. Like, she was not a threat. It was kind of making her an example for everybody who try, I don't know, to attend to those protests, to not do it. But that would not stop us, because come on, it's been a year and a half. There is some people who are traumatized by all the harassment and all the threat they receive. I don't know if you saw the rise of anti-Semitism that is happening in Montreal. This needs to stop.
I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, given immigration policies and given not only the lax enforcement of the law, but the empowerment of these mobs. When I was in Montreal over the summer, it was like, nobody went near the encampments because they would have been assaulted and the police would have done nothing. Am I going crazy, or were the police laughing as they were assaulting Natasha?
I need to review the footage. I would say that I didn't really sleep much, and but I would say I hope not. But if it's that the case, of course, I will show it in my my extensive report.
Excellent. And you're going to be doing an extensive report on this. It'll probably come out after I shoot this. This is just a quick update for the world to know what the hell is going on in Canada. Mm-hmm. Alexa, where can people find you? Where are they going to find that broadcast?
So if people want to support the lawsuit, not the lawsuit, but like the defense of Natasha, there is a website that is savenatasha.com. And also on ribbonnews.com, I will have my extensive report. And also on my Twitter, I will put the full report on my Twitter at The Voice Alexa.
Amazing. Alexa, stick around. We'll say our proper goodbyes. Right now, I'm going to say this. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, exercise, eat healthy, talk to people in real life, understand what's going on in Canada. And while I will be critical of Pierre, I will be continually critical of Pierre until the man grows a political spine. But right now, all of the ire should be directed at the Liberal Party, what they have enabled throughout Canada. If you vote for the Liberals, you are an idiot. With that said, Viva Fry, like, share, subscribe, enjoy the day. Peace out, people. Booyah.
Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms. Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms. Large American online platforms have become seas of racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate in all its forms.